Complexities turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Ah, come on.
Dire team pick.
Starladder.
Complexities turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining.
Lone Druid.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5.
Life Stealer.
Complexities turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Yeah, it's most noticeably too. Of course, the star player that a lot of people maybe were excited to see was Abed playing for them. But once
10
again, he's not
seconds
playing today.
remaining.
Flea is in his place here, just as he was yesterday. So I don't know the
5
details on that
seconds
and what's
remaining.
going on there, but well, Flea's standing in for now, and he's doing that again here.
Reserve time.
We got a draft to talk about though. What's that?
Complexities turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, yeah, so Flea going to be playing with him here, and they're going up against Complexity Gaming. Now, Complexity, we were mentioning, this is their debut match. So we haven't seen them since the Boston Major, and obviously a lot has happened since then,
10
so including the
remaining.
game kind of changing a little bit, and they're taking advantage of some of those changes.
5
How about this?
seconds
Underlord and Lone Druid to start, but they're going up against the Slaughter Lifestealer, which is a very strong combo in itself. Look at the draft so far,
Reserve
though.
time.
Yeah.
Ah.
Complexities turn to pick.
Sniper version 2.0. Again, I don't know if you were watching the previous game right here, but we did see
Dire
NP
team
run it
pick.
in their game too, and yeah, he once again showed why this new Lone Druid build and has become quite the flavor of the week, even recent event and what happened here. So he's definitely one of the more powerful heroes right now. But ways to deal with it, they go vengeful third pick into a Keeper of the Light here. Team Onyx. Anything standing out to you with those picks?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So having some of those saving tools, as you mentioned with the swap right there. So we're pretty certain that's going to be a support vengeful. I guess, yeah, they already have Lone Drew for the short lane, so probably not going to be
Dire
core.
team pick.
Huh.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Did you just say support Lifestealer? Okay, maybe you did. I had to really listen closely there for a second. I was like, am I missing something here? Is this a new strat? Yeah, just to make sure. Okay, but Clockwork coming out now with for a pick for Team Onyx. So that, I wonder if that means now Starladder is going to be more the 4 role here, and Clockwork in the off lane.
10 seconds remaining.
As a result,
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
mid option being banned away from complexity. They still figure Team Onyx needs that, and pretty safe assumption. Obviously, Tinker ban coming out here from them, but now what are you banning for Team Onyx? Because as you're saying, it feels like complexity can do a couple of things right here. So we're not even sure where that Weaver is going to end up, and so
5 seconds remaining.
how are they going to ban is the question now. Joker still on the board? Are they scared of that? Maybe.
Time.
Invoker.
Complexity.
That's what I meant to say, totally. But they go Invoker themselves, yeah, banning out the Rubik right there. So they believe, possibly could still need a support. Maybe more of a core Weaver instead. But now the answer comes for complexity. What is that Weaver going to be? What is this final pick even going to be here for them? So
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
All right, 15 seconds to decide. So Swinamel's got the whiteboard out. He's got the
10
folder
seconds
open
remaining.
and going through all these strategies and lineups here. Juggernaut, okay. Mid jug, lone druid short. Weaver, vengeful supports. Why Weaver support? What's this fascination with the idea of running Weaver support sometimes?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Game number 1 of this 2-game series now. Got Complexity versus Team Onyx. You see right off the bat, Melon's going to port to the top lane. Meanwhile, you have Dubu porting to the bottom lane here on that Slaughter. Going to get some early vision down. But as far as some lanes go, I mean, and I guess it's still kind of... Oh, so who is playing what? Cancel is on the Lone Druid here, yeah. So he's actually going to be mid in the end. And then Moo's on the Juggernaut. He's their core now, of course. Their 1 position, I should say. No longer playing that 3. That would be Monkey's the one that does that. He's on the Underlord, okay.
Thirty seconds to battle. The battle begins.
That as triggered gains.
Yeah. That was also a great start for Complexity there, too. They actually did control the top bounty rune up here. And so they get the 3-1 bounty rune control as a result. So well played. As Moo is the one to take on the top. He got Monkeys and Cancel. So all the cores managed to get some nice early start here from the bounty rune. So yeah, will be that try versus Charlie. But as you're getting at, Complexity perhaps a little bit of the upper edge here. As far as having the aggressive play for them. Dubu, meanwhile, is going to throw out the counter war. Going to remove that sentry that was blocking the spawn of the camp over here. Full camp, that is. So Lone Druid versus Invoker. This is kind of an newer matchup because, again, Lone Druid making appearances on the scene as of late. Do you have a favor for either side here? Yeah, one of those nice nifty tools to be able to take advantage of, especially in that mid matchup. You're mid player yourself, you know, that's what really so much of that mid is, that creep control as far as the creeps go, pulling and whatnot. So top lane, we saw a lot of harassment on both Coddle as well as Slaughter. The Swarm came out and got both of them pretty damn low. Not enough for a kill, of course, but they are really keeping this pressure up. Moo's 6-3 right now. Lifestealer 4-1. Very early on, but play advantage right now for Complexity. Be expected.
A golden thread.
Taste it.
Oh, They're wrapping around. They want that Vengeful, but he's being a little too sneaky. Dubu's trying to hunt him down. But you see Melon's right here. He's got the flank positioning now as Seafree comes back in, and now they're going to go for Lifestealer, actually. The Crush completely whiffs as a result, and now Mason's in trouble, running away. He'll be fine. Moo running down now onto Dubu, but just simply harassment for Complexity, I guess. Looks like we might have had some kind of initiation right there, but oh yeah, Vengeful's not level 2 yet. That makes a little more sense. Doesn't have the magic missile. So I'm not wondering lack of stun, but it's against level 2. Oh man, middle lane, by the way. Flea's in trouble. He might go down right here for the first blood. One more auto attack. He gets it. First blood in favor of Cancel. Just dives him. That's that bear, though. The bear's like, yeah, you can't do anything about me. And gets the Entangle proc.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Demon may fall right here, but at what cost for Z-Freak? He popped the Illuminate at the last second. The Sunstrike open wounds himself, and down goes Weaver. So, did make the kill happen before? Yeah, with all that minus armor you're talking about, but at least they get the third kill on a Weaver. A little too ambitious there. Not making a play. What is Starladder doing, by the way? He's been sitting here for a while. Okay, now he's just rotating through, I guess. Maybe waiting for a pickup on the courier, but not gonna happen.
Just trying to make something happen, but you can see him and us keeping forced back to the jungle now. He just can't lane here anymore. He even has the wave on his kill for Cancel, up to 25 CS, whereas Flea only at 15, so almost doubling him up already, and some of those are jungle creeps as well for the Invokers, so Bollinger having an extremely good start. This hero is just so hard to lane against.
Yeah. Monkeys, meanwhile, the Underlord, he's running away. There comes Dubu. Rotating in with that Crush, only level 1. No, it's not the most damage, but here goes the Sunstrike on top of the cog. Blocked right here. And Monkeys is going to fall, actually. So that's a great synergy coming out, taking advantage of the Clockwork and the Evoker. And, I mean, Underlord really couldn't have done much more, so very good collapse onto him. He's been winning that bottom lane, but that will slow it down a bit now.
Yeah, the Clockwork, almost level 6, so just a few more creeps will have that, and may look to set up a kill on Slow Injury, but it's pretty difficult as they do have the Sunstrike to throw on top, so it looks like Lee is actually going for the more the traditional Invoker build, Quas Exort, going to the Midas, and maybe going to be farming it more as opposed to the typical Quas X. So they're going to be adding to their gangster across the map. I'm going to add a little bit more to kill potential onto this Lone Druid if he does get crushed up once the Slaughter gets a blink or a hook shot hits. So that may give them the potential to actually set up a kill on this Lone Druid. We'll have to see those. He does have the defensive capability and the roar.
Level 6, Cox come out, but Weaver happens to be nearby. Sunstrike again, no Monkeys. He's going to be dropping. Trying to keep his distance, but the Crush helps secure it. Not even necessary. Battery Assault, more than enough damage right there. So not much Z-Freak can do by himself. And, you know, Underlord's usually considered a pretty tanky hero, hard to kill, but apparently not so tanky in this Clockwork and Poker combination. Just surviving. So that's now a couple of deaths, and again, he still has the creep scorer lead over the Clockwork, but at least they're keeping him in check here. Bottom lane.
It's sort of the pace of this game is for Onyx is dependent on Bulba making good rotations right now. Bulba and Dubu looks like they're going to smoke up and try and set up a kill on this Lone Druid, so realizing that he's getting a little bit too out of control and want to set up a kill on him. They have the hook shot, and the Lightstealer just really not in fighting shape right now. Wants to farm up that armor before he really gets active in anything, so they're going to try and make moves, make space for the rest of their team. Invoker some time to catch up, let Coddle get some levels in mid while the Invoker jungles, but Cancel sniffing it out and gonna go to this top side, pick up the bounty and maybe jungle some camps here, so well, as to say that.
He's coming back now. He's gonna right into Clockwork. Actually, things coming out. He knows he's in trouble now. There's the hookshot, man. It was initially such a great play on his part, and then only to just run right back into them. Obviously, it just happened to be the timing was perfect with the bounty rune. He goes down. Meanwhile, goes down at the top lane. Looks like maybe getting too aggressive would be my guess.
Yeah, I
catch
don't
it?
know. I wasn't looking. I don't know what happened, but Weaver was up there as well. So it looked like he had just barely lived, and then infesting in and out, and maybe getting the kill and just living on a little bit of HP. So nice play for Mason, and the Jug going down in a 2v1 scenario. So very, very good for Onyx. Sort of after a really rough first couple of minutes, have turned around with a couple of nice cleanup kill, cancel going down as well, and then SK having some time to catch up in the jungle. Still quite far behind and looking for a rotation down bottom, not finding anything, but.
But this build on Moo, by the way, you know, he might still eventually get it, but he's going the full ring of a kilo first, it looks like, and then he's going to be, he got the phase boots on top of that, but Helm of the Dominator not being done just yet. Would you like to see that maybe sooner, or is it fine with this pace right here?
Yeah, I think you typically want to go the phase boots first in this kind of a lane where you're playing aggressive. It's an aggro triangle and you're playing versus lifestealers. He's going to go the phase boots first as well, so if you don't have those, then you'll have some serious issues last hitting versus him. Once you get on top of them with the spin a little bit easier, stay out of harm's way. If the Slaughter does come in for rotations, you can just phase boot away with the spin if anything goes super wrong. So we'll probably be going for the HOD after that, as Mubai is HOD on almost every hero.
Laundred also a candidate for Helm of the Dominator, but obviously, you know, with you getting on Juggernaut, I kind of brought this up actually last series. I'm curious on your opinion. Is there ever a reason to get two Helm of the Dominators, to get two like aura creeps, or is that just not worth it?
I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world, as it is just kind of a good item stat-wise. The HP, the creeps aren't bad. It kind of depends. It is a little bit redundant, as sometimes you'll see like the Lone Druid go the HOD if you don't have any other HOD carriers on the team. AUI will go HOD on Lone Druid because the creep gets the whatever the thing is, whatever the buff is whenever you go into the true form that gives both of your things more damage. It gives that to your creep as well, so you can take a catapult and you take down towers extremely quickly with the catapult having 140 damage. But yeah, I don't think teams typically go for the double HODs. Like you said, the auras don't stack, so not the most efficient item choice.
We got a disconnect here, it looks like, on Flea playing the Invoker, so hopefully quick.
Yeah, it was on FDL and then was kicked and then now back on. Not super serious, not playing super seriously right now. Haven't been scrimming or playing any matches, and we're not in a lot of qualifiers, so yeah, I don't expect us to be a contender for any land spots in the near future.
Gotcha. So it's more just having fun with it for now.
For now.
Some experience. Gotcha. All right, well. Yeah, I thought you might have been one of these qualifiers, but yeah, it looks like you're not, so. No, you're not. I didn't mean that negative. I realized that sounded so bad.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not. Although I'm sure you guys are good enough. I'll work you out right now. You know, a hero that you play often too, watch your stream every now and then, and we talked about this before, I think even Magnus is a hero that I feel is pretty strong too, and with the talent tree, how you can build him as a right-click damage dealer even, it feels like. Would you like to see more Magnus, or is it understandable why maybe people don't play him as much?
Yeah, I think he can be very good. I think one of the reasons teams don't pick him up too often is it's a little bit redundant sometimes with how the meta is typically right now, where you almost always have some sort of an initiator, or at least a hero that likes to get fights started in the offlane. Underlord and Darkster sort of being the exceptions, and so Magnus fitting more with those heroes. Because sometimes you'll have, you know, just these multiple heroes that all sort of like to do the same thing, and it makes it a little obvious on how you want to play the fights. Magnus also a slow hero tempo-wise, as he likes to sit in lane, farm treads, Echo Saber, and then the blink. So if you pick a very fast lineup versus him, you can get punished and lose a lot of your towers and map control before you get online. At really strong state, doing a ton of damage and buffing up your carry.
All right, this game, guys, early on, I mean, a 5-2 Onyx lead. So as far as hero kills go, it's looking pretty good. But Complexity definitely has their positive, mainly this Lone Druid. And the start that Cancel has had so far, looks like that Dragon Lance going to be next in line for him. Plan to work on at least. Again, we just got finished watching the NP series. Right. And using the Lone Druid over there, and you know, if you haven't been watching the recent action in Dota, which I'm sure you have, but the Dota pit, of course, really just go online in that tournament and becoming a very quickly a flavor hero that a lot of people are. Is there a way to stop? Is there like a hero or a strategy where it's like, oh, they picked Lone Druid, let's try to counter it? Or is that still being figured out, you think?
I think it's still being figured out. This hero is above 50% win rate. He's like 60 or something like that, and he's first 2 picked right now by most teams. So whenever a hero is first picked and is above 50%, the hero is like super broken. Because if you're picking a hero and they have the whole draft to try and counter or pick a playstyle that works well against it, and you still can't beat it more than 50% of the time, then that hero is too strong. And I think that's the case with Lone Druid. There's just very few heroes that are actually good against this hero. He has an escape mechanism, he's extremely fast, and he has a sniper-esque range, as well as does a ton of damage, scales well late game, has something up in the front to tank form, has a root which have been massively buffed. Just overall, you know, he respawns in 20 seconds at level 20, you know?
Yeah, well, that was the, you know, I didn't even realize myself until really, especially last game, you know, really looking over, yeah, the 200 attack range alone at the bat is like, okay, well, that's nice, and then 65 damage is like, wow, that's like, it's like relic, and then, yeah, the minus 50-second respawn time, it's just like, wait, what? We were talking about that, how his numbers just seem so amped compared to other heroes and their talent trees. Like, I play a lot of support options, and I feel like the support, like, respawn time is minus 35 seconds, if that, so... Not that he gets it up to minus 50. Granted, it's level 20, but still. Is he probably the most ridiculous talent tree, you think, and that's why he's being played, or is there another one that comes to mind?
Ember, probably another obscene talent tree with the cooldown reduction, the 15% magic amp at level 10 for whatever reason. Movement speed as well, very nice on that hero, as well as the stats. Stats never a bad choice in talent tree, and then level 25, permanent chains with the Octarine core, so his talent tree exceedingly good as well. The attack range being at level 10, like Silencer has plus 200 attack range, but it's level 25, and this Plunger here just has it at level 10. I don't know why.
Seems something's a little wrong there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because you know, when you implement a system like that into a game, you could argue that it's just gonna mean more balance issues, right? You're just adding yet another tool that's gonna customize, and but it's gonna be another level of things for all these heroes that you have to kind of worry about now, like as far as is it fair amongst all the other heroes. So I like the talent trees personally, and I'm having a lot of fun with them, both as a player and a spectator, but I can only see it being even that much more difficult to actually try to truly balance. And it's gonna be fun to see when this first, you know, big post patch now happens, when with the changes that are inevitably going to be there. I mean, there's just several. You mentioned the Ember Spirit, the Talented Lone Druid, Quaff is another one maybe that people would bring up. So, I'm sure they're going to be making some tweaks here and there. Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, I know. The mini map, man. I'm 12, lol.
By the way.
They're just.
Dubu.
Hey, Dubu. Dubu, one of the several players that coming over from MVP Phoenix. Talk about that organization, man. They just got gutted. Yeah, Dubu.
Yeah, literally everybody left.
Pretty much other than Ryzen, I think it was, who was a sub actually. So,
yeah, is he playing on the what was MVP Phoenix? What are they called now? I think he's on that team. I'm not positive, but yeah, Forev on Bears. Ooh, on this team. Yeah, and then whatchamacallit on an NP on Secret.
Yeah, that's right.
He left a little bit earlier though.
Yeah, he was like the first one, I think, and it kind of slowly trickled down from there.
Yeah, him and Forev left, and then Forev coming back for the major, and then leaving again.
So much for Korean Dota. Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Did you hear the announcement earlier today, by the way? Trixie, Bonnie, Cinderin, and...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Arrow was on the first NIP, I believe, for a little stint whenever it was a Dota team. So maybe having some connections there, I'm gonna get them sponsored again. It's good for them. Losing their escape sponsorship, they're not sponsored again. Into the boys.
Yeah, NIP obviously a big one at that, especially in the region over there in Sweden and whatnot. So, all right, back to this game though. Looks like
Dire's
Invoker.
top tower is under attack.
Nope. Played by Flea once again. into the game at least. So, kind of recap here. Got a 5-2 lead for Team Onyx. You look at the net worth, though, it's actually pretty much even right now. It's dipped back down in favor of Onyx. What's been going on? Z-Freak, he's poking around here at the top lane. He's trying to find somebody maybe hiding, but that's not going to necessarily be the case. Even's a little too crafty. Make his way out, but it seems like they want to push this top tower.
Dubu's scooting around behind the tower, pulling the wave around, so mid-tower, Radiant mid-tower actually taking a decent beating from all these creep waves. Dubu just pulling it to the ancient camp, so the dire creeps don't get pulled off. The tower taking a fair amount of damage, Mason coming in to wail on it a little bit as well. Cancel just now coming in to take some damage off, so getting it about half health, trading a little bit, but like you said, top tower probably going to go down for dire, just committing 4 heroes to take this down.
Classic avoid fighting strategy right now. Cancel charging in though. He gets the first hit right there. Onto Mason, but quick off of the range and he'll just walk it off. So nothing really coming of it. Bottom lane, they all poured it in, but that was the Underlord Dark Rift. Unfortunately, unable to catch anyone, but they will protect the tower. So never mind. They deny it. It's low enough for that. Middle tower does remain alive though, so it ends up being kind of a 1-for-1, but slight advantage for complexity, of course. They were able to deny it once again. And the Dark Rift has really proven to be a very interesting ability. A lot of the time you'd figure it's going to be used as this escape tool, but we've been seeing it more and more as people are getting more comfortable with the hero that use it aggressive, man. Push one lane, port to the next lane with the Dark Rift, and then push that lane right away. Especially with the Shrine Reset ability, that's why, I think his biggest reason why he is so successful.
Yeah, it also lets you save your TPs. So after you've all been rifted to a lane, you still have your TPs. So if they're pushing other lanes, you can go back and defend them. Gives you a lot of choices around the map. Lets you push, lanes you wouldn't normally be able to push, and then still defend your towers. Gives you a significant just map movement advantage. Like you said, one of the biggest reasons why he is so popular right now.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on over here? That would be the Spirit Bear scouting out Flea, picking up that double damage rune. Take the bounty rune though. That's a powerful tool, man.
Yeah,
get the bounty rune
get
and run
cheeky.
away. So well played at least there, and that in front of Invoker. Top lane. Z-Freak's fine. Corrosive haze applied to it. So you mentioned the support Weaver playing the support position. What kind of build do we expect on him, Dank? Does he even build like into a Desolator, become almost like the semi-carry for the team, or is he more supportish utility?
He may sort of based on how the game goes on. He is going for the Aqua, looks like now, so it's going to give him some mana regen, some nice armor. Veil, pretty good this game. I mean, not Veil, Medallion.
Okay.
So we see that on support Weavers sometimes. It's sort of an intermediary item before you get to the Aghanims. He's most probably going to go for the Ags at least some point in this game, but I think maybe go for the Medallion. Probably not going to go for something like the Deathso or the Lincolns, at least not right away, maybe later in the game he gets more farm. It's just kind of a lot of gold, and you're not very useful until you get to that point. You'd rather have something like an Ags if you are going to go for a big item to help out your team, as you are just a support Weaver.
Bottom lane, looks like they want to rotate over, but ports are coming into the Shrine. The Cogs catch Melons right here. There's no way he's getting out of this. Oh, maybe he is. He swaps out, actually. And now he's going to play that. I'm going to run the game. Nope, ain't going to happen. No shot connects. And down goes Slimone. So, that was a hell of an attempt, at least. Let's find some time for Lone Druid to push the middle tower. Being a bit of a distraction, I guess. Nearly enough, though. And now Cancel. This Spirit Bear, he's dealing with Mason just fine, apparently. But he will start to get back in. Run back into the lane. So Juggernaut, meanwhile, top lane, the Helm of the Dominator, just about finished for him. And maybe that's going to be the kind of the key item to perhaps start grouping up and pushing more towers. They only have the 1 tower kill so far, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I think they were looking to maybe take this bottom tower, pull some people in with the Underlord. Underlord actually having an HOD, so they do have 2.
Oh.
So not going for that quick mech, a little bit surprising.
Huh.
Not something you typically see on Underlord. People sort of toyed around with it, going for that, going for the HOD on a lot of these offlaners, but I've sort of drawn away from that and gone back to building the mech, because a lot of the carries do like to build a HOD, so it becomes a little bit redundant, but they do go for 2 HODs. Looks like he's going to be going for the mech afterwards, so a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here we go. The hook shot in. He does have life stealer inside. Jumps up the Cancel with a swap out from Ellis. Playing the sacrificial lamb, but Cancel will stay alive as a result. But it picks the hero, of course. Dubu, meanwhile, stomp. Just the bear, and that's one dead spirit bear. So no spawn for Lone Druid either. That's a 50-second cooldown actually. Pretty crucial for Cancel. He's going to be missing out some time here.
Radiant's
Not having
bottom
that
tower
spirit
is
bear.
under attack.
Yeah, I really like how they're playing this Invoker, sort of like how Miracle did the other day. Going for more of this typical build, going for the Midas and just farming a lot. Focusing more on Wex and Exort. Going for that because you don't get the 2 Forge Spirits at level 8, so just leaving 1 point in Quas, you can just skill the Forge Spirit. And split pushing a lot and contributing to these ganks with the Sunstrike, as they do just need a little bit extra boost of damage to finish off some of these tanky heroes or hard to get a hold of heroes. And Sunstrike doing quite a bit of work, giving them a lot of pickups. Looks like Swindle may go down again here.
Yeah, not only that, he put a ward right next to a Sentry Ward, unfortunately, so he's just trying to dodge and he attempted a hook shot, and love yourself, aka Fullbud, just kind of walks him down. Battery Assault gets the catch, and there's that Sunstrike as just mentioned. Coming out from Flea, so Melon's in, and that's that insult to injury, like I said. The war going to be countered immediately. 14 minutes in. And Invoker, he should be fine, just Underlord down here. So Invoker real quickly, so Invoker kind of, I think a lot of people would agree, it's almost like its own game in a lot of ways. There's so much to learn about the hero. So you're kind of going at, so this Wex Exort ability build here, does this allow him to just overall deal more damage and even on a right click sense, or what's the true advantage of doing this over, say, the Quas Exort?
I mean, the Quas Exort is sort of eliminated by the last patches, since the 404 doesn't give you Forge Spirits anymore. Just getting the 1 point so you can summon the Forge Spirit, Exort giving you the damage, Quas giving you HP on the Forge Spirits. So leveling up the Quas anymore, not the biggest deal, just using the Forge Spirit for damage on the Alacrity, but Cancel. Wow, going down.
Yeah, he melted. The corrosive paste was applied, and he just didn't stand a chance right there. So great roam coming out from Team Onyx, and obviously that's a high priority target, especially at this point of the game. The Blink Dagger on Starladder. That's going to help with it. Pickup to be had.
Yeah, but going for this build in the Invoker this game as opposed to a Quas Wex, a nice adjustment, as they do have so many heroes that like to make moves. They like to start off these fights, sort of like Quas Wex Invoker does. They have the Clockwork, the Starladder, so not being too redundant, going for this more damage-oriented split pushing Invoker is also complexity with really no heroes with good catch. So Mineski getting a lot of damage this bottom tower, non-stop, constantly pushing in. You can see complexity having a really hard time dealing with it. They want to group up, they want to take team fights, but Onyx is not letting them do that, moving around the map, kiting them.
Yeah.
And just looking for pickoffs, taking fights on their terms.
Well, I feel like this really is just so odd, because from the draft to the lineup, it really does feel like Complexity is the one that should be doing what Team Onyx is doing in terms of pushing these towers in now. The big fight brewing right here. You see Mood charging in, doesn't have any kind of catch necessarily. They're going to catch Demon though, and he's going to immediately try for the TP. Ain't going to happen, but everyone else should be fine. Pending Melon's able to chase them down. Wave of Terror. We'll see Lifestealer, but cannot get close enough for any kind of swap play, and they will escape. So yeah, losing a Coddle, not a big deal there. There's 5 heroes coming down. And now Complexity could have transitioned instead to a bottom tower push. So again, going back to the point though, Complexity, they wanted to probably be pushing towers by now. Haven't necessarily been doing that much just yet. But they'll finally be able to take out the tier 1 tower at the bottom lane at least.
Yep.
Barely
Onyx drawing some lines, so looks like they're willing to give up that tower and gonna try and smoke and make a play behind this top tier 1 Radiant as Fleet pushes it in. So trying to anticipate Complexity's movements. It looks like they're having none of that, and now they're able to group up by a tower, not getting split pushed super hard. We're gonna go over this tier 2 as Demon trying to slow it down a little bit. This top tower may still fall as they aren't super in position right now to take this fight.
Yeah, that thing just dropped really quickly. So we do see again the Fair Demolish and everyone else just, they can drop these towers when they finally get about to doing it. And that's going to be more than enough. That with the healing ward throwing down. So a lot of team fight presence. And as you pointed out, Onyx not really comfortable in this spot. To be defending top lane. Not going to be enough on Amu right there. Sorry, the crush. He spun right before the crush, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was nice reaction time. They weren't smoked, so we did have a little bit of time to react, but just barely got the spun off and the spin off, spun off, and they did get the kill. So a little bit of wasted time. Mason having TP back to base after using his rage, so now gonna run back and try and continue to get these lanes out with Flea going right back down to bottom. So we're gonna continue the split push, continuing to try and split them across the map and look for pickoffs, but Complexity all starting to migrate back up to top lane looks like. So gonna try and start working on these tier 2s again.
Yeah, got a double help on the Dominator. They got the mech now, and Underlord has talked about. So it feels like the complexity. And again, Melon's knowing him, he's really keen on objective-based games. So grouping up, pushing this tower even further. They're kind of split up somewhat right now. You see Weaver coming off the Ancients. You know, it does have 1,300 gold saved up. So clearly Z-Free trying to finish whatever set item's going to be. Talked about the possible medallion, perhaps, or something else. But going to use this Ice Ogre. Ogre Frostmage, excuse me, to apply some armor to some people. To help with the Ancient. So it's just an Underlord Vengeful push up here instead. And you gotta be a little careful about that. I mean, Vengeful not really the best. Only just has brown boots currently. They get caught out, could be in a lot of trouble. So they're not gonna fully group up. They are just gonna kind of split push a little bit and just continue to farm elsewhere. So I don't know if there's just a specific item that they're waiting for really pushing more towers, but gonna hold on for the time being.
Yeah, I don't know if there's so much waiting for specific items. They're just getting drawn all over the map by Onyx, waiting till they can find a pick-off or some sort of a kill. They may get one on even on top.
Yeah, that was well played, actually. Oh, Dark Rift activated as get out, so this is going to work out perfectly. Yep. As they were definitely dead if it wasn't for that Dark Rift, even a second later, so timing there by Monkeys.
Yeah, but they're just sort of getting drawn over the map, getting all their lanes pushed in and having to deal with them, so not able to group up like they want to with the healing or with the Underlord, who does have the mech now as well as the HOD, so very farmed on this Underlord. They want to just kind of run down lanes, but they are getting split up, but after getting the pick off on the Coddle, don't really have any deep push heroes besides him. Onyx maybe setting up the fighter on mid. Looks like Complexity are going to smoke up, look for something, maybe go down to this, go to this mid lane or up to top and defend this tower as they, do draw the line, so they want to defend this top tower. There's the Lifestealer up here. Yeah, that'd be the ideal. The Echo Saber, the Armlet is mentioned, the Desolator in the works for Lifestealer, so slowing that down would be big. He managed to catch Doobie nearby though. Infest target. Here we go. Melon's leading the way. They got a Purge Creep, the Satyr in the front lines. Oh, that's an awkward pause. Oh, wow, you can see Bulba drawing that line, so just slightly misguessing where they think they are, but
he sees
like the
Satyr
creep. Yeah, he sees the Satyr. So that's some unfortunate timing. Swindle seems to be a little triggered.
Melon's kind of giving it away too. I mean, but if anything, yeah, seeing the Satyr, I mean, I can understand the frustration, to be fair.
Admin laying down the law. Chill out.
Super chill, brah. Yeah. Knowing Melon, he threw his hands up in the air. So are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. But it's yeah, like I said, it wasn't on purpose by any means. He was lagging. It happened to be the perfect timing. So Onyx, you'd figure, should be able to get out of this. Seeing that Satyr there, they probably figure something's up.
Yeah, Mason can rage TP. Duba can just blink away and sprint on off. As like I talked about before, Complexity quite low on catch heroes. Gonna have a hard time. This kill. Only 5 minutes left for Maneski to come back. Hopefully, this lag is resolved.
Yeah. That would be good. Invoker especially, I can only imagine playing Invoker. In general, he's just so difficult, again, kind of his own game, but then you got lag on top of that you're having to deal with. Not too friendly. There's been the hot topic discussion lately going on. We'll hold it off for another pause.
Not so much for the hot topic.
Have to keep you guessing on what it was. Okay, so the immediate reaction, the godlike reaction from Dubu. Oh, but they might get Lifestealer, actually. Yeah, they swapped him out, and that should be a kill on the Lifestealer. So, oh, they get something out of it at least. So there's positive for Complexity. Got to be fairly happy with that kill. Rather have that than the Slaughter, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we get the next kill on the Lifestealer, and with that kill, should be able to walk down and push out this top lane. As Demon is pushing in mid, some of the waves getting in, but Moon not up at top, so made a look to fight, but okay, now just running away. Demon gonna come up here and slow down this lane as much as possible. They continue to just push up the lanes, trying to push and find whatever they can.
And that Illuminate spam, or I sometimes say the Illuminati spam, a little too much right there to. But very effectively. What just happened?
He who was down bottom trying to set up a kill on Maneski, maybe looking for an Omni Slash on him solo as he walked away from a wave, but Dubo came over, crushed him, amped him up, the Sunstrike dropped down, and Mu went into the trees, was going to TP, and was probably going to live, but Dubu on the first hit with a 10% bash chance, bashed him up, and he went down.
That's a lucky bash. And now there's a catch on the melons over here. He swaps out the spear pair though, and he actually is going to keep the distance. They thought the other kill was going to run into a sunstrike though. Oh, he thought he made the great escape successful. Unfortunately, not to be, however. So, unfortunately, missing that bottom juke attempt on Juggernaut. But yeah, he does die, and so does the Vengeful, and they go right into the Rubishon pit now. Clockwork helped him out. That battery assault scores. The Corrosive Haze put up. And this is going to be a very quick Roshan kill. So that Aegis in the hands of Lifestealer, I'm sure.
They're going to run the Satyr in there, but just a little bit too late. Is barring at about 10% HP, going to be going up. There's just a few swipes from the Lifestealer, crushing it up to make sure to steal it by some seed chance of luck or denying the Aegis. So you get the free Roshan for Onyx after a nice kill on Mood on bottom with a super lucky bash.
Underlord pushing out the bottom lane meanwhile, but of course, yeah, gonna have to deal with it Aegis now. Desolator just about finished on Lifestealer as well, so dealing plenty of damage. Evoker keeps pushing out the top lane. The axe is just about finished on him, it looks like. A little more gold for that Blade of Alacrity, and then means the axe gonna be ready to be purchased as there we go. So, yep, he has his axe now finished. As bottom lane, they're gonna have a collapse. They collapse on a demon, but there's several other heals nearby. They're not aware of it, including the Slaughter jumps in, including the Infest coming out from Lifestealer out of Clockwork. And the cogs are up. Demon in the background, still alive in the Spear Pair. He's gonna remain alive for the timing. How's nobody dead just? That's unbelievable, honestly. Cancel trying to keep running throughout here, but it ain't gonna be enough. He will eventually go down. As now Vengeful. He's just gonna kind of wait it out, the inevitable death, and just make them take as long as possible as they do. But the 2 for nothing is successful for Team Onyx, and now they're gonna push out this bottom lane. It looks like.
Yeah, Z-Freak buying some time, gonna try and push this mid lane, maybe force somebody back. It's like Demon may head over, but Weaver gonna head back after killing a couple of creeps. Is Vaneski running in to push this lane? His bottom lane tower is very low as well, so it's probably gonna go down.
They're grouping up down here. They do not have Invoker as mentioned, but you know, he can join them if need be. Has those bots ready to go. And Lifestealer will just head right for the tower and easily drop it. And that money for the Desolator at least is ready to be finished. So getting that to come out here in the near future. Top lane, you have Mood just farming what he can. Blink Dagger is going to be his next choice. So he had the Mantis South finished. Wants the idea of the gap closer ability. That makes sense to you, getting the Blink Dagger next on Juggernaut?
Yeah, I think he wants to get on top of this Coddle, maybe find a pick off on him while he's pushing out these lanes. Otherwise, the Coddle will just be able to run away as he's a pretty fast hero. Gonna have the Ags pretty soon, so we'll be able to spot him as he's running up. So let's get some kills on these on the Coddle as he's split pushing, and the Coddle just defending lanes. Let's him split push a little bit better. Trying to be a little bit more safe and avoid some of these Slaughter Lifestealer bombs, but they are pretty scared right now. As you can see, most of their heroes in the base playing very defensive, and Dubo just walking around bottom. Onyx doing sort of whatever they want on the map. Is Underlord past the point that you typically want to hit with this hero, where you're just sort of walking down these towers, being super tanky, forcing them to take team fights, but not quite able to do that as their lanes are just always in by this Invoker constantly split pushing.
Yeah, got Melons pushing out right there a little bit, but that's why they're playing it so safe, and wasn't expecting him to be out there in the first place, but just trying to get some kind of vision out for his team, of course. They do have a fairly defensive ward at their bottom shrine area, but that really is it. You mentioned Juggernaut at the top lane, but the middle tower will fall right here in favor of Team Onyx, and now the top lane, Moo, is gonna spin, he is gonna TP, and he will be good, so makes his escape at least. Where they can collapse onto him, but now it's time for the top lane for Team Onyx. Yeah, this first tower even still up, actually. A little surprised at that. But they're gonna make quick work of it, and is that an Ags now finished on Coddle? It sure is, and that's where the game even gets that much tougher. It's just not stopping. It's happening so quick. I'm really trying to catch these kills, but jumping with the Infest Bomb. And these supports are getting picked off left and right. Bottom lane, okay, there's Panic here, but no, the Pit of Malice gonna miss, actually. Voker will be
going for the Force Staff next on Flea as well. So, continuing to play around that style that they wanted to go for from the draft. It was just kite complexity around the map, don't give in to their just running down lanes and 5-manning. Pickoffs around the map, have really good vision. Force Staff Gonna help them fight in that style even better, let them kite around, get on top of this Lone Druid, stay away from Weaver, from the Juggernaut, just play these long drawn-out fights, getting multiple crushes off the Lifestealer, getting multiple rages. Clockwork having Ags now already, so the 12-second hook, they can just constantly go in and out, whereas Complexity just sort of have to run at you with, like we said before, not really any catch heroes in their draft.
Juggernaut can continue to split push, trying to make something happen here for Complexity, but this is the team going to sit at the base, of course, and protect any attempt at a siege. A swap in on Invoker. This could be a big kill as they catch Flea initially. The Swarm is put out, the Ghost walk away, and the Forest Staff of support is a little bit too strong. So, oh, the Cox just out of range of trapping him in, though. And Monkey will fall back. The Aegis, meanwhile, it is reclaimed. So we heard right there. And that'll be the end of that exchange. No deaths actually happening.
Z-Freak actually going for a little bit of an atypical build, going for Force Staff and the Weaver, so can force his Underlord out of the Cogs, can force his Lone Druid out, who did go for the Hurricane Pike, second item, after getting the Maelstrom and the Dragon Lance. Finishing that up against the Clockwork, but pretty low on damage because he did have to finish that up. Typically you want to go for more damage-oriented items, or as well as going down a couple of times. This Lone Druid not really at the place you want him to be, especially after the start he had. 5k below the Invoker he was so far ahead of earlier in the game. Really catching up extremely well, just pushing these lanes and not going down at all since that first Blood Death. So working up with that Octarine about halfway there already.
Oh, swap back in on the Lifestealer acting the Armlet Toggle though. He's killing up just 5 Cinnamons rooming in place, and it will be enough for the kill. He does have a 5x like on the EMP going out from Invoker, and the Illuminate coming through as well, but now it's Complexity's turn to push back Team Onyx actually. See Demon off to the side. Banister 5, he's on the uphill now, throws out another Illuminate. So Melon's trying to get close enough for that magic missile, but nice job with the blinding light. Push him right back. Kyle gonna keep on running. He is damn fast at 430 move speed right here. And Demon actually heading towards the bottom lane even throwing down a sentry. So he will end up living in the long run. Meanwhile, the top lane, Invoker split pushing it. And gonna start pressuring the tower now at the base. Well, not for long though. He immediately has to fall back from there.
It looks like he's getting recalled.
Okay, that would be, yep, there we go. Underlord's dead. He's gonna recall it to the bottom. He's been alive quite a while, but he will die shortly after.
Yep, taking all 4 heroes, they do eventually bring him down. Was recalled, so didn't have to use his bot, so can immediately TP back to bin, which he does. Gonna push this lane out as well. Just Onyx continuing to keep these lanes out. You can see Complexity desperately trying to get top in as fast as possible. Maybe try and look for some tower, try and get this mid tower, but Onyx having none of that and just continuing to pull them around the map. Very, very nice play from Onyx, playing perfectly into their draft, and Complexity just being sort of stifled at every move. They are still very, very strong at team fighting. Onyx trying to avoid these brute force 5v5 team fights, always going to look for the initiation. Very finesse-based team fights, in and out, with the Slaughter, with the Clockwork, Lifestealer, bombing heroes, trying to get run at. Complexity storming at the mid.
Slaughter with that gem also kind of wording along the way as they're going to kill the Shrine now. That will be the last outer building destroyed. You see the top Shrine already taken out earlier. So now the map control well in favor of Team Onyx with the Vision as well as the Shrines being killed. There's still a secondary tower here for Team Onyx that is up. That Complexity will have to make a point to destroy. I mean, I guess you kind of get the general concept, but Roshan is up in a minute and a half, which could be a big deal, but Complexity, yeah, it's like, what can they do? You mentioned the late game is still pretty strong presence and everything, but this idea of maybe pushing towers and team fighting, is it just Team Onyx is playing it just too well right now to be able to look good if you're Complexity?
Yeah, they're playing very crisp. Their draft also works very well against the style of Complexity wants to play this game, while drawing a lot of lines, my goodness. Yeah, it's just sort of how the drafts work out, and Complexity, like you said, they still do have a very strong late game, and can definitely take these late game team, or can definitely take these team fights as long as they get jumped on. So, looking to probably fight at nighttime, as the Cuddle, his effectiveness going to be considerably lowered, so gonna be trying to get these lanes out, maybe look for some sort of a smoke play in the near future, as it's only 1 minute till daytime, and then Onyx gonna be very strong for another 4 minutes. So, if you don't look for that play soon enough, then gonna be back to continuing just push out these lanes desperately, trying to work up some net worth and get to the point where they have enough items to, getting the Blink Dagger, getting an Abyssal Blade in the far future on the Juggernaut, so maybe they can have some pick-off potential, but until then, just gonna be forced to group up as a team so they don't get picked off and push out these lanes as much as they can.
And this smoke was completely 100% spotted right here by Team Onyx. They were pinging it as they were smoking. Team Onyx is smoked themselves, meanwhile. And now they're trying to figure out where they want to go with this. They're going to see the Spirit Bear, but obviously not know where everyone else is just yet.
Radiant's top
They're going to be
tower is under
patient,
attack.
though. So, well, you figure, though, this is going to be the advantage to Team Onyx. Again, they're the ones that know it's a complexity smokes, where he probably figures by now that that's probably going on, but then Moo's just going to open and he's tired of running around doing nothing. Beat down some creeps, meanwhile. It does have that Maelstrom, of course, so open up his damage a bit.
Dire's middle tower
Now
is
looking
under
once again
attack.
towards the Roshan pit. Roshan is up, so here we go. Action. Flee. Ooh, he ports out right as they're going into the Roshan pit. Or near the area, at least. And now they're actually going to the secondary tower, so a little bit of change of heart there.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah, it's very
is
nice
under
play from
attack.
Fleet. Gonna put a lot of damage on this 2-3 tower, and it's gonna force Complexity to respond. They're gonna have to TP back, and whenever they do, Onyx is gonna get that mid lane out, probably go for Roshan. Rax is taking a heavy beating right now. Someone needs to go back, because they're trying to cancel TPs on Onyx.
And they're not going to stop this though. Dubu, he got forced back off the cliff, actually. Just throws that off. Lifestealer's up here with him, actually. So now goes Dubu. And now Monkeys, he doesn't have a dark everything necessarily. The Onyx side's tearing through Lifestealer. He's going to die as well. And that works out pretty well. You see Juggernaut, excuse me. There's a gem up here, but he's stuck. But as you mentioned, the top lane, look at Flea. He pushes in the Rax and gets the Rax killed, despite losing 2 of his teammates right there. So overall, definitely advantage for Team Onyx. And they both have buybacks. There we go with the Slaughter buyback. Invoker jumps in, the EMP, and tornado combo. Gonna land pretty well right there. Off to the side, D-Freak has some time left. Gonna be pushed out by the Cogs, though. They want to kill this tower. Nice 3-man stun there with the crush of Slaughter. Buyback on a Lifestealer. Invoker's caught, though, and Invoker's gonna fall right here. He has the buyback. He's not gonna use it just yet, however. Dark Rift is activated. Can he catch everyone in it? Yeah, we got pushed out someone. That was close. Oh, that was really close, but he actually gets everyone back.
Yeah, at the very least, Invoker not having a backpack, but Lifestealer did as well as Dubu, so this Lifestealer is not going to be where he wants to be. His net worth, as far as net worth goes, both of Complexity's cores above him, with Flea still on top, so even if they do lose a Rax, I don't think Complexity the most sad with that. The Roshan's still up, and with Flea still dead, they may try and move over to this area after getting top lane out. The Aghanim's on Weaver now as well, so for the longest time, Onyx has been able to get the jump and burst heroes down, and Complexity not really having a response, so they die too fast to get swapped out or mech'd up. Just too much damage, and now with the Aghanims, and the massive range of that time lapse, we may have some issues bringing heroes down now for Onyx, and Complexity may swing back up into a position of just being really, really strong on the map. The Mjolnir now on Mu as well, very, very strong up to level 20, so getting the +8 stats as well, bolstering his strength quite a bit.
They see Underlord with that after Fiora hitting pretty damn hard himself as well as negating theirs. Had to talk about, man, this is like a quick Roshan kill. Wow, that was like 6 seconds or something like that, but Aegis picked up by Mu. And all of a sudden, yeah, Complexity maybe not feeling too shabby, but again, granted, the top lane of Rax was destroyed, but ultimately, I don't know if it was a great call, but I mean, I guess, again, there are advantages for both sides. There was a buyback as you're talking about. Lifestealer going to be down on the buyback now for a good 5 minutes, and Complexity very aware of that with the Aegis. Now, this is going to be their window to definitely make a play. They kill the top shrine, the bottom shrine, going to have to leave for the time being. It's a little bit too far away. They did pick up the Octarine core, by the way, well before that fight.
Yeah, Mason is sort of in a worrisome position right now, though. You can tell in the last couple of fights he's gotten kited and just sort of locked down very, very easily. Been jumping out, was on the cliff that time. The time before was swapped back in and died up in the top lane whenever the pause happened. So hasn't had the largest impacts recently. And you really want your Lifestealer to continue to be getting kills, snowballing his net worth as Underlord, almost the same net worth as the Lifestealer right now. And not a hero that can do very well late game versus a Juggernaut, as well as this Weaver Aghanim and a Wonder Bear constantly snatching him far away, rooting him down. If he's not ahead, if he's not being the aggressor, getting the jump. And so I think Complexity, fine with the position they're in right now, is they definitely have the power to take these team fights, and a lot of it doesn't just come down to execution.
Lee really is doing a great job though with the split push. He is definitely accomplishing his job here for Team Onyx. And obviously you already got the top racks taken out with these bots, and the short cooldown that they have, only basically 33 seconds at this point. So he's going from bottom to top, He's keeping the lanes pushed in, keeping Complexity very unsure of what they really want to be doing here. Monkey's top lane, just going to push it out with a Firestorm. Or falling back, as had a couple coming over, so need to be careful. Medallion of Courage was eventually picked up by Vengeful Spirit, actually, and Weaver does have the Axe now. So, you can cast the time lapse on an ally. We'll keep an eye on that throughout these fights right here. Just to use it on when he does more so. Lifestealer AC has been finished. Damage amp tool for the team. Kyle, it's nighttime currently. He's pushing out the bottom lane. With the last shrine, though.
Yeah, I kind of worry for this Invoker. While he is very, very farmed and has had a large impact on the game so far, going for the Octarine, now going for the Lincoln. So, 2 items that make him tankier in the Octarine. Very good for long fights. Long fights not really what Onyx want to take anymore. They want to get these jumps off, they want to blow up a hero, and they want to just sort of take the fight from there, chasing them down. They don't really want to go in and out too much anymore. It's very hard for them to blow up heroes with the Weaver having the Aghanims. So, it's having a lot of tankiness. The Octarine good for these long fights and bring down himself, but doesn't have that much damage and isn't super useful in these team fights versus the Healing Ward, the Spin on the Juggernaut, and a whole lot of Force Staffs. And like we continue to say, the Aghanims on the Weaver, the Guardian Greaves, the Pipe as well, and Monkeys, so have to be very careful. And he's trying to split push and force Complexity back, but
yeah, trying to cut it off. Oh, that was Underlord right there, porting in with his team. Dark Drift, and here we go. The range racks actually being the ones that fall first as Move prioritizing that. Hooks up in the back, no, catches one, and the Cogs are up, and here we go. Firestorm put down, the Sunstrike on top. Nobody died just yet. The Force Stabs are a little bit too strong, and saving one another despite getting trapped in the Cogs initially. They down go the melee rack, throw in the air. Meteor going to be placed. Move, going to take some good damage from that, but will spin away. He still has an Aegis. There's another hooked up. The Axe reduces the cooldown quite a bit, but cancel and 4 stabs away. Now Underlord caught with a crush, but not the easiest target to kill. The bit of Malice going to catch Slaughter in the background, trying to delay him from chasing that. Move's going back in. He still has an Omnislash, but no mana to use it. These EMPs draining all the mana, apparently. Dubu off to the side, though. He's now finding himself in trouble, and we're going to finally see our first death of the fight. Oh, maybe Tubu will survive. There we go, the first death. Underlord and Vengeful actually tie in the background. They eventually picked off Starladder, but a 2-for-1 exchange in the long run. Again, that was a very long fight with only 3 kills in total happening. And I think that's going to be the end of it. The Spear Pair also getting caught, but...
Yep. And they did exactly what they needed to do, just jumping onto one here, blowing them up. And they did get time-lapsed a couple of times, but Onyx able to force them out of the base, chase them down as they do lose their racks, but get a couple of kills.
Man, that...
Eski still pushing bottom.
Yeah, you got a Lifestealer inside, by the way, so the Infest's ready to go. But Weaver's going in, but with a quick Ghost Walk. And he will be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of it was the EMP, though. Like I said, Moo probably wanted to Omnislash a couple times during that fight, but he just didn't have any mana. So that's something that's annoying to deal with, I'm sure. Here.
Yeah, you definitely have some mana issues in this hero as the game goes later on, but Complexity had to be very careful. As you saw, whenever the Underlord got amped up and the Lifesteal was locked onto him with the AC and the Deso, he just melted in just a few hits. So they do still have to be very, very careful. And as you can see, all grouped up in the base, playing very much as a team, not willing to give up any pick-offs. Hurricane Pike now on Z-Freak as well, so going to be transitioning into a more of a right-clicker as the game goes on, up to 11k net worth, so not too shabby for a support, about on par with the Kato as the Force-Staff Axe, as well as the Gem, so giving out some nice vision, as well as some more mobility. This game is all about mobility and how these team fights go. Better jumps, who can find the opportunities, items, and just the drafts in general showing how they want to play this game.
Is there, I mean, when it comes to like really late game, we're talking really late game, which is still a ways off, but there's an argument to be made, I feel like, with a hero like Lone Drew that he's probably one of the best, and considering he has 12 inventory slots, right? You know, he's got his bear on top of himself. Now, with this build, he built up himself, but he could start building up the bear eventually. He still has some room to go in his own inventory, but that is something to keep in mind. Of course, it's Flea, okay, fine. Of course, the Ghost Block, but...
Theoretically, but you know, by the time you get to that point, that's like some 120 minutes game kind of stuff, because you know that's like 70k net worth by the time you've got a few items on your bear and 6 slotted yourself. And I hope this game doesn't last till he has 70k net worth.
We're in for a long one, man. We're in for a lot now. Probably right. Probably not going to be that, but worth thinking about at least. So, Crimson Guard going to be coming out for Slaughter. It seems like actually that's a pretty good item choice here, and as I wouldn't expect anything less, of course, but useful for Team Onyx. Fighting.
Crimson Guard got pretty heavily buffed. The last patch does work on buildings now, and just overall a very good item for fights. Works extremely well against physical damage, which is almost all Complexity's damage right now between the Weaver, the Juggernaut, and the Lone Druid. A lot of it being physical, some of it being Mjolnir, but most of it just right clicks. Smoke coming out.
Underlord, they're pinging him out there. One Z-Freak ain't gonna catch the crush with the throws the pace, but under Underlord. There's the clock. Blocked right there on Underlord. Gonna be pushed out though, every which way. The time lapse on him, I believe, brings it back. Meanwhile, Omni Slash bouncing around a couple heroes. Not doing the most damage. Dark Grip's gonna be canceled by Monkeys. Not about using it right there. Dude's gonna be spun down. Here comes Lifestealer though. Out of the Slaughter that currently is dead now. That being the only death so far. The heck on a Juggernaut. Gonna be swapped out by the Vengeful though. The good timing on that. Saving it for the last second. And now Cancel getting another kill as he takes out Clockwork in the background. And now the run is on for Team Onyx. Mason's caught though. Pops the range trying to deal with Cancel, but the kite is real and he'll go down. Double kill for Cancel. And a 3-for-0 exchange throughout all of that. So another fight won by Complexity. Again, that momentum, as you're talking about when it comes to fighting power here, they are really coming online now.
Yeah, you can see in that fight they wanted to try not. They didn't want to commit to Slaughter Lifestealer bomb onto this Underlord because he would just get Weaver time lapsed back. So they just committed. A few of the heroes had the Slaughter and the Lifestealer just skirting around the sides trying to find the Weaver, but missed 2 crushes on Nubu and Sprint ran out, just kind of got stranded in the middle of all those heroes and ended up dumping the Lifestealer off to his death. Both of them going down and not really getting any good initiations there. So Complexity playing that fight really well. Z-Freak being in a great position and not able to get caught.
Oh, the Hexo on a Lone Druid chasing him down. He just avoided the Sunstrike though. If he gets hit by the Sunstrike, I think they're definitely chasing here even further. But I mean, they still are. He's going to be summoned with the Mana Leak actually. And they managed to killing him in the end. He has support strength here. 5 with his 2 box out. There's some time left on him. Not going to really matter. Maybe will. Okay, yeah. Not in the end. Forced out. They did everything. Z-Freak trying every play of his, but it ain't going to be enough. And he too will end up getting caught as a result of that. Now he's dead for 60 seconds with no buyback. So that's what you did not want if you're Complexity, to get caught doing some counter pushing. Especially on a hero like the Lone Druid, and no buyback now on Weaver for 50.
Yeah, these teams are some serious line drawers. Complexity drawing a line for Monkey's bottom, telling him to go back to base, and then Bulba saying go right down mid. So these teams tell you exactly what they're thinking with their fantastic artwork.
I wrote Roshan here, yeah, definitely gonna be up soon. Team Onyx, and I want to say it would be the 3rd one, right?
Yes. Yes.
I believe we've had 2 so far. Another benefit of doing it if they choose to do so. The Scythe, though, of Invoker has proven to be a pretty valuable pickup. Seen it used a couple times in his last fights, and especially to help catch the Lone Druid the last time. Moo might be in trouble middle lane. Ooh, Blink Decker just before, and they still might chase. No. Maybe. Okay, hook shot it. There's the cock. So here we go. They are going to chase him. Lotus Storm going to be applied, though. Moo will be fine. Going to take this Tornado here. Not really much more after that.
Yeah, it's so hard to jump and pull up these heroes whenever his team's behind him. Time lapse, 3, 4 Force Staffs, Lotus Orb. It's just almost impossible to bring this Juggernaut down, as well as him having the natural defensive capability of the spin, as well as building up that Manta. So extremely hard to bring him down. Onyx looking for any opportunity they have, pushing in bottom lane, trying to force someone back because they know Roshan's up and they really want to take this down. Whichever team gets this Aegis will have a massive advantage going into these next few fights.
Abyssal Blade on Juggernaut, big item there. Of course, Booker just dives the tower. He gets the tower kill. It's going to be rooted by the Pit of Malice, but obviously not enough follow-up. Meanwhile, they're pinging out Roshan, though. Oh, no. Complexity's kind of split right here, so you got to be somewhat careful. Else making his way in. Oh, he gets blinded light onto the cliff, however. Okay, there's the Force Staff. That'll be fine. So Nubu's going to jump in with Lifestealer, trying to make a play, hooked up in the background. Actually catches the Lone Druid, but another Force Staff away will be fine. Moo just sitting on Roshan. Who's going to get the Aegis? It's going to happen any second now. There's the kill. Roshan, no Aegis pick up just yet.
Pick it up.
Dubu gets knocked over the line. Nobody's picking up. Finally snatched by Demon. On the corner right there. Dubu's in trouble. Everyone's spam clicking. He goes down. Gonna resurrect though, but not the hero that you wanted it on. I mean, I guess they prevent Complexity from getting it, but finally, meanwhile, bottom lane though, Invoker, he did push in the middle racks. Cancel comes in, he's gonna take a Hex, and trying to now chase out Flea. But Flea's have once again somewhat done his job right here. You do see this Force Spirit's gonna eventually be killed off, but that's another set of racks down for Complexity. What is going on this game, CCNC?
Yeah, Flea in the base now as well, so there's still creeps, backdoor protection not on, and may look for to continue to hit this racks. You saw it cancel, walk out, and yeah, gonna start pressuring the melee racks. May actually get it.
He's sitting on it, he's gonna get it. Oh, and Londrew by the time he's back is like, wait a second, I thought you ran away. No, he did not.
On cooldown.
He's dead. He has a buyback though, but I think that might be worth it, right? You know, like got the melee racks. Meanwhile, mid lane, okay, here we go, the back of the Dire base. The target too deep. Moves in trouble. He gets time lapse though. Beautiful time lapse from Z-Freak. He will be fine. The cog's gonna block his own teammates, unfortunately, as the hook shot must have whipped or something, but now the run back from Complexity, and they just need to get the hell on out of here. Dark Rift and not ready to go. 35-second cooldown. Not enough chase though. This game just continues to be something, man. Invoker no buyback now, however.
Yeah, Complexity really want to run that minute and end the game, because they know if they don't take this opportunity, then they may just get split pushed to death, but don't really have a choice right now, as the Invoker did buy back, so at the very least they forced that out as Flea running down to bottom. And they may have some idea of where he is. If they can pick off this Invoker, then they'll definitely be able to try and push down this mid lane, but as of now, Flea just trying...
Oh, God, that was almost perfect timing, but ports out just in time.
Yeah, Flea just continuing to split out these lanes. Now that they only have this one range rack, Complexity have to be extremely careful. And you can see they really wanted to get that Roshan and use the Aegis to walk down mid and maybe go Throne or get Megas of their own, take a fight in Onyx's space, but not quite able to do is Moo getting forced out of the pit. A really nice force. I'm not sure who did that, but then Moo not having any slots, a lot of pinging happening, but eventually Demon storming in there and picking it up himself. So yeah, snatching it.
That was something. Not often that Aegis sits there for that long during a fight at the Roshan pit between two teams. But yeah, Demon of all players ends up picking it up. That was something. But Invoker, look at this, going into the middle lane. He's going to be seen though. Will it be caught? The question.
Ghostwalk's on cooldown.
In glass, Ghostwalk 7 more seconds. You're right. Moo, can you get the Abyssal Blade?
How many slashes on cooldown too?
And now Ghostwalk's going to be up. There we go.
Okay, it's fine.
Ooh, it's going to... They don't have any kind of vision though, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be very careful. He's just sort of toying with them right now, pushing these lanes in, irritating them a little bit, but he does go down, no buyback for quite some time, so needs to be a little bit careful, but knows his limits. Although is playing with Ghostwalk on cooldown for Tad. If Moo did have that Omni Slash up, had gotten a bash during the Omni Slash, maybe he could have gotten a kill. No. But that was under the living on the Invoker, and Onyx just chilling on their side of the map, waiting for a little bit for when they choose to go for its final push or trying to finish off this last range racks.
We have some level 25s here, at least. Okay, well actually it's just Invoker. Wow, I thought there was going to be a couple, but it is just Invoker. Of course, he went the AoE Deafening Blast there. Juggernaut is coming up, so is Cancel on that Lone Druid. Is that significant? I mean, minus 10 second Savage Roar cooldown, is that like, oh, that's actually really good, or you're like, not really?
Nah, his level 25 talent is his worst one.
Go figure.
Yeah. Seems
Tapers
good.
off at the end, you're saying, alright.
The Juggernaut will get the agility, which is very nice. Gives him a really nice boost in damage. More armor, also very good versus the Starladder. Oh, Flea breaking their smoke. I don't know if you realized, but they have 2 gems marching towards them. Oh, no. So be very careful.
Oh no, can they catch him?
Blink,
They're trying
blink.
so hard, they see him! It's so hard. Got recalled though.
Very close, breaking their smoke. So another smoke down the drain, and you can't see how many smokes they have. So I don't know, but I'm assuming it's a low number.
Anxious continue to happen.
Core. None on any other heroes. So even picking up a Shadow Blade on Melon. So obviously showing they really want to try and find a pick-off. So they really just need to get a catch.
And guys, this is game number 1 of this 2-game series. They still have another one to play, and then we got one more series even after this later on. Infamous versus Team Freedom actually should be a good one there, but one turning out to be quite the doozy as well. Complexity versus Team Onyx. Of course, Onyx, the newly formed team here, American region, and played yesterday, split their series as well. Complexity making their debut post-Boston major event in a 7.0 patch. So, CPK joined by CCNC Dota, or I guess it's your Twitter. CCNC is your.
That's the me.
Yes, that's a you. Chrysalis on Lone Druid, Daedalus. Okay, he's switching it up actually. He was eventually going for it, but now he wants to go full on Bloodthorn here. Lone Druid. Having a change of heart. Is either one better, you feel, or does this make more sense?
I think the Bloodthorn is pretty good this game. If they do get the jump on the Lifestealer, or he gets caught out a little bit, can silence him, and has no way to purge that off, so stop him from getting the rage off, can stop the clock from hooking away. It's another way to break the Invoker's Link, which is very, very nice, so could give him a little bit more pickup potential if he has another hero with him. Could be very good there. One of the only sort of disadvantages about it is Lone Druid obviously has extremely long range, so not going to be super easy for him to get into range to use that Bloodthorn. He kind of wants to skirt around the edges of these fights, so a little bit counterintuitive, but if in a scenario where they are going for a pickoff and they need to break the Invoker's Lincolns, that will be quite good. And like we said before, also very good versus the Lifestealer. Onyx,
Yep.
just playing this split push game. They know that Complexity has some very strong team fight right now. Weaver, the Aghanims are so hard to deal with. And these fights are all about finesse, all about initiation, how the fights are taken. But Onyx, they really just want to play this sort of safe and get Mesky to maybe split push and take this Rax without any committal, without any risk of losing a fight. But Complexity not having any of that and continue to get these lanes out. And
oh man, Invoker jumped in and Darkroot's gonna be activated actually to get to him. I definitely thought we might have finally some action right there, but nope. Take it away. They went to the top lane with the team, that's right. Now go back to base.
So, looks like Complexity, they want to stick it to them, they think they're strong, they think they can take this team fight, so marching towards the top racks, but Onyx making a very similar movement as they run down to the bottom lane trying to get this Rax.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, Complexity, they're pretty much all in, I feel like, because the range rack going to die really quickly as soon as Onyx picks up on this. It's going to do so. Yeah, here we go. Invoker's there. They're going to lose the range racks. Complexity's committed. They're going full throttle here for the finish.
Megas. So here we go. The wave of Megas is going to spawn in 15 seconds. It's going to be pretty hard for Complexity to deal with as they push in. Seafree getting his mana burned off, and the Lotus Orb already used.
There we go, follow up onto him, gonna be forced out of the way, Weaver, gonna fall though with the pop and the time lapse, that's a big kill off the bat, Underlord being locked down. Meanwhile over here, Cogs are up, Cancel kind of boxed out, he's not doing a lot of damage this fight. Yeah, Underlord, he is getting low in the background, also Moo trying to do his thing, but Complexity completely spread out from one another. There's the swap though from Vengeful, and that could do it for Complexity in terms of help in the move forward. The AoE definitely blast coming out. You see the creep starting to push in the face of Complexity, by the way, gotta keep an eye on that. Buyback being used on a Weaver, it looks like. He's gonna push out what he can, maybe join the team. Lifestealer being locked down by the Blade. So Joe running back to base. It seems like Moo is more than fine. Lotus Orb onto Hancock, trapping Weaver once again. They're diving into the well even. They get the kill on the Slaughter. Buyback on the Lone Druid actually, as he did end up falling throughout that. And gonna join them once again as well. But now Underlord being locked down. And Moo now deciding to go for tier 4 towers. And again, trying to play the game. We gotta end this some way somehow. Dodge the tornado. It ain't over just yet for sure. Meanwhile, time lapse on Moo, it looks like. Or that was a swap out. The Sunstrike gonna miss it. All the buybacks going up. Juggernaut barely, that's canceling, excuse me, on Lone Druid, barely surviving as he runs away. And Juggernaut is gonna get caught in the background. Down goes Lone Druid. Juggernaut, yes, he goes down as well. He does not have buyback actually. Now Clockwork going at it with a couple himself. You see Underlord back into the fight. Clockwork gonna remain alive though. Vengeful goes down. And now Monkey's the one that's done. He has trying to use the 1 second. Ain't gonna be enough to save his teammates. That should do it. In favor of Team Onyx, the mega creeps up, no buybacks to be had, and they're gonna take game number 1. That was a long fight, man.
Yeah, just very well played from Onyx, playing the game slow, not needing to take any risks, as Complexity eventually, like you said, was gonna lose that range tracks. They commit to this full-on push, realizing that's probably their best shot to win the game, but Onyx playing it very, very well, kiting them around, just constantly mana leaking this week.